Howdy, beautiful Bart here, and welcome. Still feeling kind of crappy, but let's kick this thing off. Show you where we are on progress. Custom splash screen. Character editor. Still haven't updated anything else on it yet. Keep our yellow character, and then go into multiplayer or single player. Doesn't matter. But if you haven't been keeping progress tabs on it, change the Q key for the phone. No gold, but walk over this, pick it up. Now I got gold. Okay. The dance. Now you can actually still right click or left click and move your character around, so you can pan around. And same thing, the dance emotes. If you change them midstream, you have to stop and then restart again. Didn't think it was important to make it to where it automatically stopped your animation and started it up again. So these all work. And we'll keep updating these as things go, and actually put the game settings in your phone. The admin, I don't know why it did that. Change your view. But we'll refine a few things on that. Basically, it's your phone, just larger. I may change it later to make it look more like a tablet. Bring this border down. Get rid of that center button. The buttons are still wonky. You can't move around, so we'll fix the views and stuff later. The Minecraft map, just some placeholder buildings and stuff in here. Took the TNT out. It was just kind of annoying. Still want to know what we can use the Minecraft map for, and if it needs to stay or go. But of course, all the characters will change over to Cindy characters later on. But still open to ideas of what can go on in this map for a Minecraft battle mode. And yes, the trees are ugly. The buildings were imported from another one of my projects. These are buildings that I actually put together. They're actually in a blueprint right now, so that's why the lighting's a little bit open. And yes, still having problems with the dental issues from last week. And change it to where now there's I'll probably move the buildings in so it's actually a street in the middle. Just do something for it. Add an exit on both sides. Town hall is still the same. Just a test for your damage and healing back up. The prison system still works. I was making some changes, and what I'm getting ready to do in here is made one change to the rotating dancers, and remove the ones that were here. I'm actually going to remake those. Alright, so let's actually take a look at, let's go to the build map. And I'm actually going to go ahead and delete all this stuff out of here. Alright, so the regular dancers, characters, NPC, let's go ahead and create a new one. And this is going to be a static actor anyway, so Dancer underscore BP. And we will add in a skeletal mesh. We'll use the default, but we'll make it to where it's editable, to where we can actually select it. And we're going to use animation asset. And we're going to use montages. Alright, so if we just take our random, throw it in here. Hit play. It's just going to be the regular default mannequin with the default dance. And I want to have some options in here that we can select. So what I'll do is go to the event graph, event begin play. Going to get our skeletal mesh and set skeletal mesh. Now, and what I want to do here is promote that to a variable and dancer mesh, and we'll expose that. So what that's going to do is let us go in here and let's actually create a category for that and call that settings or learning how to type. And we'll default that to the UE4 mannequin. So something's in there. So now if we click on our character, see we have in settings, we have our skeletal mesh. So let's go ahead and change the animation as well. And we'll just get another mesh reference. And we're not going to be able to do what I wanted to do here. We'll play animation. Let's see if I can do this a different way. Set animation. Now we're going to have all these different ones here, and it won't let me promote the variable here, so I'm going to have to manually create a variable called dance. Change that to settings, and in here we're just going to do anim. Now we can set the anim instance, or in this case we're going to do montage. And we'll default it to the stripper and expose that. So now we'll get that and plug that in here, and that should now give us the go. So now we have the stripper dance as the default, but if we want to change that, we can just select the montage. So now grab this guy. Hello. Control C, Control V, copy and paste. Two more in here. And on this one, we want to use pink, and we'll leave that as stripper. We'll change this one to the Gangnam Style. This one to green and Macarena. So all three have different configuration. So whenever it actually starts, aren't we special? Don't know why I did that. It's amazing how I can quickly kill things. So we'll just try play animation. And we'll still plug that in here. And leave it at looping. So pink and stripper. And we'll change you over to red and Gangnam, whatever. Alright, so yeah, it's an easy way to do this. Just create a static animated character. Now you can do this with any animation or whatever for when you place them in the map. Just drop them in and then set them to do whatever animation you want. Alright. So I guess the next thing, I mean, this was a really simple thing to do, is to start taking a look at the admin control panel. Well, first off, let's actually take a look at the player and find out how I have it set up here. Still got to redo the death. View change starts. Still got to clean up everything too. Escape menu, phone, dance, save game. That's the hat stuff. That's the phone. Everybody can use that. And okay. The importance of keeping things clean. All right here. Okay. To go into the admin panel. Admin panel and... Okay, we didn't change our input. So, not a problem. Just need to add in here set input to game and UI. And we'll drag from our widget reference to there, player controller to there. And we've got to set show mouse cursor. That's good. So now if we hit 1, we have a mouse cursor, but we can't move our character around. But we can still walk. Set input to UI only, but I don't know why that didn't work the way that it was supposed to. Because the phone is game and UI, and it's working just fine. So why are you not working just fine? I don't get it. See, now I don't have a mouse cursor. because I didn't plug that in, dumbass. Alright, now we're gonna close admin panel. Set input to game mode only. And for some reason, just then, it is not closing. Yeah. Set input mode to game only. And remove from parent the widget. Resetting pawn control rotation. So apparently I had it set to use that, but I don't understand why now it is no longer closing the admin panel. Opens fine. I don't have any control, but focus is there, but the key is broken. Running the flip-flop, it works to turn on the panel. Set input mode to game only. Well, it is not doing anything. So let's actually find out what the hell's going on here. If I press 1, it works. If I press 1 again, getting nothing. Makes no sense. Set input mode to game and UI. Like I said, this is exactly what I'm doing on the phone. Our player controller and our widget reference. I hit 1, it snaps. Okay. Well, it's working. I mean, I don't know what the hell that was, but I don't have my rotation. You know, on the phone. Oh, I disabled it by doing that. There we go. So we want to be able to look around, and now I can still walk around and do my thing. If I change my view, I don't have control this way, so I'll have to come up with something for that. But I can still walk around. The whole point being was that I could actually target a player, and I'll have to refine that. So go on duty, hit 1. I want to be able to access the panel, and whenever I'm on duty, that's actually disabled, and it's disabled. Warp 2 player is disabled because it was screwing up. There's nobody in here to send to jail, so let's actually change maps. Alright, so I don't have to deal with this. Server is going to be off screen. Actually, I'm going to move the client off screen and leave the server on screen, since what we're doing is on the server. And yeah, brown hat on the server. Client can come over, go shopping, buy a black hat. Alright, they just stole my gold, so change over to this. We can target them, hit V. Wasn't on duty, so let's go on duty. And okay, I've just targeted them. Let's go back to the panel here. You can see the player standing there, and let's send them to jail. And there they are. Let me out, you son of a bitch. So let them out. Just go back in here and release from jail. And what happens is it returns them to their initial spawn location. So their last saved spawn point was where they first spawned into the map. So that's where their actual spawn point will be for them to return to. It was a little bit cleaner and neater to send them that way. But I can still go back in here and send them back to jail again. So if we go back off duty, you can still have control, but your character looks normal again. So we'll take our server, we're off duty. And see the scoreboard is something to still have to fix. If I come in here on the green team, it didn't update. And you see it just changed to 0. So the scoreboard's still broken. So I'll go back in here on green. And we'll put the client in here on red. So you see the scoreboard updated. What you can see on the screen there, darts flying by. So I think I got damage disabled. Oh, there we go. Don't know why, but for some reason, at longer range, the client has a hard time actually being able to target. Server, no problem. So we'll go back over here to the client, and I'm going to aim directly at the head, and you can see the aim is way off. Don't know why it is like that, but that's something I'm going to have to look into and revamp this whole shooting mechanism. So in theory now, the server is on the green team. Continue to get attacked by the other team. They die and respawn, and you can see now I'm on the red team. So then I actually have to update the scoreboard again. So this whole system for the infected mode is going to need some tweaking back and forth. So as soon as you leave the arena, you go back to your original color. Now, the one thing I need to also isolate is the fact that whenever you're in that arena is the only time you can actually shoot, and that's the way it is now. You can't shoot the darts if you're in this arena. This will have its own specific game mode, and you'll be able to do whatever it is you do on this particular game mode. So the dances, they work correctly, they replicate correctly. So if I open up the other menu on the client and change the dance over from the sexy dance to do some twerking, see it changes out, and the server, same thing. Go into the phone, change the dance. So those are replicating fine. There was an issue with the hat's not replicating correctly for some reason, but they show up just fine in the editor. So let's actually walk the server out, and still need to change the direction whenever you spawn in. Alright, so I haven't made as much progress lately because of this whole friggin' tooth issue. I mean, it's not even easy talking right now. That's why I'm talking a lot softer than normal. It is because the fact that everything hurts. I mean, I've got a couple different medications, but it just keeps it tolerable. So, let's go ahead and do that. Now, the send to jail thing just seems to keep giving an error. It works. It works whenever the game's packaged, so I'm not as much worried about it. If it stops working, then yeah. But it's low on the food chain. I really like Twitch, but this is more for Sorry, I missed your comment there. I had multiple windows open on the editor. Um, I have been thinking about switching over to Twitch, and it doesn't take much to switch over. What I'm probably going to do is here over the next week or so, I'm going to be doing some rearranging of the house. I've been operating out of this. Used to be a sunroom, but I got most of the windows blocked out and computers set up in here, and about an 80-foot network cable run from the router to here, and I'm tired of using this room. Got some issues where I think there's some mold coming in, so I just can't occupy this room if there's going to be mold in here. So once I change things around, the computer's going to a different room, switching to Windows 10. See, I've been using Windows 7 forever, but I will start doing more on Twitch. I don't have as much time streaming on Twitch, but I will stream more on Twitch if you guys want to see it there instead of here on YouTube. With all the crap that YouTube has done to make it almost impossible for anybody to make any freaking money off of just doing regular streams, I'm about ready to abandon ship on YouTube anyway. Just that I've been streaming here quite a bit over the last couple of years and just kind of gotten used to it. It took me 5 minutes to switch over my streaming software to do Twitch instead of here, but may actually do that on the Wednesday stream, or I may do another stream tomorrow, specifically on Twitch only. You're not the only one that suggested it, and it just seems like Twitch might be the easier way if I want to get earn any money from doing what I'm doing, other than waiting for tips and donations. But I worked hard to get 1,000 subs on here. Well, I didn't work very hard. I just do my thing, and I don't care about promoting myself. Not yet, at least. One of the other things also is with this project, you see I put a lot of blocking collisions to keep people from flying out of the arena. because I've had all these dental issues and not being able to focus on what I'm doing lately, it's in going outside and sitting, trying to collect my thoughts and figure out what I'm going to do. I like this project. I like the idea behind it, and I'm going to continue to pursue this project. But I think um, for stream-wise, I'm going to get back to actually building things, showing how to build things, answering questions on things, and helping people and doing that kind of stuff. But instead of focusing to try to push my game out and get it on Steam, I'm actually going to start focusing back on things like my simple multiplayer Steam template. Um, it's you know making something I can put on the marketplace and try to generate some revenue that way. I hate to sound like a greedy whore, which good and bad on that. But let's actually go back to standalone. Gonna need to start generating some more revenue, and I've got some little things like 3D printing going on in the background, um, but another thing is I want to look at is maybe being able to
Work it, baby.
yeah, that was the Easter egg thing there, but working on little things like a weapon switch, or I thought I disabled re-init pose. But a simple menu system or a weapon switching system or whatever. Simple save games, simple little tools that can be quickly added to your your projects that you're working on. And what have you. So it's stuff to make your life easier. And to me, I find a lot that whenever I'm actually, it looks really pink instead of purple. It's not the pink, but I want to do the little things that I can do. Um, Whenever I create a project, I'll start a project and I'll do 4, 5, 6 features on it, and then I'm bored with it. I don't want to do anything else because later on I might say, well, you know, it's like this. You know, this is supposed to be just an infected arena, and it's looking more and more like a freaking cowboy arena. Wild West town, which to me doesn't have anything to do with a freaking infected mode, which is what this area of the or this arena was built for. And I'm deviating it from that a lot more. So it's actually file open project. Um, Last stream, for example, the another stupid shooter. Basically, there's a lot of frickin' battle royale games. There's already games doing so much of the same thing that I just want to start focusing in on um, making tools, making assets for people to use. Now, I won't be able to use and sell assets like this is a Cindy Studios asset for the pistol. Go for the reload. You see the mag drop on the ground and fresh mag is in the gun. Pick up a couple spare mags off the ground. And I just threw all my magazines away. There's something I gotta fix on this anyway. That was I have 0 ammo, but whenever I pull my pistol out, I can shoot. but the weapon switching this way. I was going to add in a rifle, but as I'm sitting here trying to do this, I really wanted to change it to where the weapon itself was a pickup, and you had nothing in your holster. And when you pick up the pistol, whether it's a 1911 or if it's a Glock, I wanted to create a separate, a good working setup for the pistol, the rifles, the shotguns, and all the different weapons. Um, Timing's off just a hair, but so whenever you go into a map, you walk over, you pick up a pistol. It just happens to be the 1911. So draw. There's your pistol, and you put it back away. I've changed the binding to the number 3 key now, and if I want to use number 1 key for a rifle, number 2 for a shotgun or sniper, and number 3 for handgun. Now, in this project right here, there is no aim space yet, and there's no functionality. The pistol seems to be off by just a hair. So, we'll do aim spaces, I think, on... I like that. You can see the magazine drop on the ground. That's a nice little touch. But need to add in aim spaces and things like that. So I think what I may actually do is for Wednesday's stream is actually go in and do specifically aim space. It's something that I always didn't do because it was a pain in the ass to do. Not really that much of a pain in the ass. It just took time to do, and I just didn't want to do it. So I just need to quit being a dumbass and just do it. I was also working on, with this being also a shooter template. And the whole point of the shooter template was to create a simple multiplayer Steam template based simple shooter where you go in and whatever you play. As soon as you go into the game, be able to get the weapon, be able to shoot, and that kind of stuff. Basically, in a nutshell, what you end up getting is a shooter template. Alright, so we'll hit play. Alright, so we can see we got the client on the screen here. Hit V, change your view. I'm going to end up changing that because there's just so many different problems with the thing. Gotta make a headshot. Ouch, shit, that hurt. And so drawing a weapon may actually do it to where it actually puts it on the back. I don't like it that way, but whatever. The aim space isn't in yet, but just a basic death. I haven't done a respawn system yet. So, if you guys want to see a shooter template, an actual multiplayer shooter template where you get the menu, you get the simple multiplayer Steam template, and you also get basic weapon functionality. Uh, right now, I'm just going through and testing a few things out on here. The rifle itself doesn't have anything in the blueprint. But what I'm thinking is just creating different colored versions of this to simulate that it's a different weapon, and actually assigning it to a different mesh, and the whole process of having a weapon pickup system where you don't have a weapon until you pick one up, and then when you do pick it up, it goes to your basic inventory, uh, not a visible inventory because I'm not doing an inventory system right now, but you get weapon 1, 2, and 3, may create a simple icon system like on the bottom of the screen. Don't know, but if you guys want to make suggestions on the shooter template, being a full multiplayer shooter template or a single player shooter template, you gotta let me know what you guys want to see because I'm making these tools and assets and things for you guys. Not me. I can create this shit in no time. Um, was playing around with some of the free stuff for the month, and weapon switching. Hell, I don't even remember which one I put it in. I guess it wasn't really that important then, huh? Gonna be cleaning up a lot of freaking assets. Getting rid of a lot of these projects. It's not necessary to have all these. And this, I delete a bunch every month. Yeah, I don't even remember which one I put it in. Might even be this one. But the AI spawn thing, I started looking at the to multiplayer replicate it, and basically end up having to go through and redo every damn thing. That's not in this one. This is the same one we had up earlier. Um, yeah, it wasn't replicating. So whenever I did the shooting portion replicating, uh, that was fine. But then the whole purpose of that was the AI, and the AI is not properly replicated, so it just looked like crap. They were double spawning, and it was the double spawned versions were um, showing up as not having waypoints, and yeah, it's just a nightmare. I think it was this one. We'll take a look at this one, and then we'll call it for the stream, and I'll start taking a look at potentially changing over to Twitch. I may actually do some World of Warships or something like that later on. Um, yeah, their demo map. If I go in here and play it in single player, it worked as intended, but as soon as I started replicating it, I basically have to go back in and rebuild everything. So, interesting. I'm not a fan of this side view. If you're going to do this, you might as well have a freaking first person view. So you can actually aim down sights. Did change the shooting sound because whoever the guy was that released this, to solve from having any issues with copyright or whatever else, he just did his own like pew 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 sound. It looks good overall, but like I said, it is definitely not replicated. But now that I fire, they're alerted. If you want to do a quick and dirty single player zombie spawning system, they don't do any damage. Well, they do some damage to you when they get up to you, but they don't have any animations for doing their damage. So if I let it sit there and just keep going, it's doing damage. Sprint, you can shoot, aim down sights, but you would think for an aim down sights it would go to a different view, but that's not the purpose of what this asset was for. This asset was created for um, the AI spawning system. And it's free for the month, so can't go wrong with the price. I hear you. What was that? It's a little white disc. But I may do like another stream here shortly, and in Twitch doing some World of Warships maybe. So I come in here and I run it in 2-player mode. New Pi window. You can see already starting to get errors. So client. Let's actually pull the server in. So server, aim down sights, and the aim space goes apeshit. So there is an aim space, but start getting down here and it's obviously broken. So I'm gonna have to go back in here and fix that. Fire, so we get the particle effects. Change them around here. Server up there. Same thing with the aim down sights. And there is no friendly fire. So whenever I come over here, this is the client. I open up the door and you can see the problem with the spawns. Server, no problem. See what's supposed to be there. But the client now has issues. Just killed one with the client and it registered, but so the bot movement, yeah, there's all kind of pathing issues and everything else. So replicating wise, basically I have to go back and rebuild the entire system. And I'm sorry for an asset that's supposed to, for sale. Marketplace, I did not mean to hit that again. So free for the month, you got the Amplify LUT pack. No clue what that is. Auto settings, no idea. Might take a peek at the combat systems constructor. So might have to check that one out. I'm not much into puzzles, so I didn't look at that one. But that was the open world AI spawn system. And network replicated, no. So if you're wanting to add that to a multiplayer game, just know ahead of time that it just, no bueno. But I would like to take a look at this. Interesting. It's a designer for combat units using blueprint scripts. You can generate more than 200 variants of military vehicles as well as control them. And it's an add to project the way it's supposed to be. Let's see here. Automatic cannon, laser gun, multiple rocket launcher, Gatling gun, Gauss gun, lightning gun, cannon, tank, tower defense, chassis crawler, walker chassis, wheeled chassis, and tank chassis. But is any of it multiplayer? Replicated. Epic, yes. Rigged, yes. Rigged to Epic, no. Of course, they have their own thing. Number of characters. Documentation, none. Let's see here. Well, judging by what I'm thinking this is, um, you're going to end up having to do your own replication anyway. So it doesn't really matter if it says it's replicated or not. These are just units. So when you're creating and spawning your units, you're going to do your own multiplayer replication and stuff. Definitely something to look into if this is your thing. Um, if you want to make some kind of MOBA or real-time strategy or what have you, this looks like it might be a good thing to look into. All right, that's enough for me. It's painful to talk, so I'm gonna get out of here. Thanks for stopping by, and like I said, I'll take a look at doing Twitch, and if I get more interest and more revenue, then I will switch 100% over to Twitch for streaming. And if I decide to get back into actually just doing how-to videos by themselves, standalones, then I'll just make them as a standalone video and upload them the way I used to. All right, thanks for watching. We'll see you around.